ask Kevin Shaw to do a presentation today. I don't know if you have ever watched him. I mean, of course, he was on the Wake Up Call for so long, but his presentations are amazing. He has a very unique role here at Beachbody. He's part of our training team. He's the director of field development, and he works directly with Diamond coaches. He has incredible insight, and today he prepared something, and I can't wait to hear it. So I'm going to also say Happy New Year to everyone, because once he's done, I'm out. I'll see you January 3rd. Big call with Carl Deichler and JJ. So have a great week, everybody. But stick around right now for Mr. Kevin Shaw. Yeah, right.
Just kind of dusting things off over here, Sandy. It's been a hot minute since I have been here. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And Happy New Year to you. Coaches, look at, man, here we are again. Man, this feels good. It feels good to be with you. It feels good to talk to you. It feels good to see you. Even though I can't see you, it is great to be with you again. And I was so honored when Sandy reached out and said, you know what, how about you be the last guy that kind of sings out 2021 and talk to us a little bit about the things you've learned while working with diamonds. I cannot wait to do that. But before I do so, can I just say, and Carl jumped off, and I'm happy that he jumped off because I'm going to say this, and this is not pre-approved, but I'm going to say it anyways. I'm going to jump on the same workout with Carl, and I'm going to create a hashtag, which is Outlast Carl. And I'm going to outlast Carl in that workout. I'm going to see if I can work out just as long, or if not longer, than him on that workout. So no more modifying, no more getting kind of stopping and taking a drink of Energize or whatever. Hashtag Outlast Carl. That was impromptu, very impressive. Thank you, Sandy. Make it a thing. Okay, I'll see you there on that workout. So let me just quickly talk to you about, for those of you who do not know me, I just very normal, but here at Beachbody, one of the things that I started out working with the Northeast region 3 to 5 star diamond coaches, and then they came to me and said, you know what, Kevin, we want you to work exclusively with about 10,000 people, just you and 10,000 people. It's not that big of a group, and that is the diamond group. We want you to work with the diamonds. And I kind of had that big lump in my throat, like, how in the world can little old me work with the diamonds? And I had been working with leaders, and now you want me to work with people who are upcoming leaders. I don't know if I can help lead those people, but you kind of just do the things you're asked to do. You kind of dive in head first. And can I just tell you, for the past few years, I have loved working with the diamonds. These diamond coaches, and you know who you are, these diamond coaches are the best of the best that we have out there. These are the people who are out there working probably full-time jobs as well as doing Beachbody, and they are learning so many great things. Now, if you are a diamond coach and you are not in my Facebook group, I want you to do so. I want you to reach out to me. I'll get you my Facebook group. Oh man, I'm going to get a whole lot of messages, but that's okay. For everyone else in my diamond groups, and for those of you who are upcoming diamonds, this is not just a regular group where I kind of post announcements and do things. That's not it. This is a working group. We are a group that get things done. My whole goal, and my diamonds know this, my whole goal is to get them out of my group. The happiest day for me is when I can finally kick you out of my group. That is, I have a joy each Thursday when I hit the remove button and block them and get them out of there because they're moving on to bigger and better things. But in that group, we take action. We show each other our trackers. We comment on each other's trackers. We talk about the things that have worked and haven't worked. We grade ourselves on the previous month and see, is there room for me to do better? And then we share our words of wisdom. And then there's a 4-week training in there where I walk you through step by step how to get out of my group. So anyways, love what I do with the diamonds, and I absolutely love the diamonds. And I've learned a lot, and much of what I'm going to talk about today are going to be the things that I have learned while working with the diamonds. They have taught me so much. I have grown so much in working with them. So let me start off quickly by sharing with you a story, a personal story that maybe some of you can relate to. Before I was hired on at Beachbody, my former employer had a deal with the local gym where we would pay them $20 a month per person. And then each time we went to the gym, $1 would be deducted from that $20 in hopes that by the end of the month, and this is the whole goal, by the end of the month, we would have been fully reimbursed for our gym membership and not have to pay anything to them. Now, for those of you who do not know me, which is pretty much everyone, I am a frugal Fred. I absolutely hate money. I hate spending money, and I hate spending money even more on myself. So you bet when I saw this opportunity, I took full advantage of it, and not once did I pay $1 towards this gym, because I thought, if they're going to pay for me to go to the gym, I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm not going to pay for it. Now, at the gym, I would have my routine down to a T. I would show up during my lunch hour, find the exact same treadmill, run exactly 2 miles at the exact same speed. And then on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would use free weights. I would lift the exact same weight. I would do the same number of reps, same moves. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would use the machines, and I would put the pin in the exact same spot every single time and do the exact same number of reps. Now, when I first did this, when they offered this to us, I took advantage of it. And when I first did it, I saw pretty good results. I was excited about where I was going. But over time, I noticed that I was not continuing to see that upward progression of the results I was looking for. I had plateaued. But I was so ingrained in my routine that I couldn't change it. Let me say that part again. I was so ingrained in my routine that I couldn't change it. Fast forward to 2016, when I was hired on at Beachbody. Beachbody had just barely launched 22-minute hardcore, and I was no longer going to the gym. And I thought, how in the world can I get the same results going at an hour at the gym in just 22 minutes? Can I tell you, day one was embarrassing. Day one completely kicked my butt. I couldn't do the full number of burpees that Tony wanted me to do, and I was sucking air. Like, I was like, this is horrible. I couldn't figure out how could this happen, since I had been going to the gym for years, and now in just 22 minutes, I felt like this was my very first time working out. But I stuck with the program, and in a very short amount of time, my plateau was broken. I started getting the results that I was looking for. Then I thought to myself, why? Why couldn't I break through my plateau before? Now, looking back, it's obvious, but at the time I couldn't figure it out. And the answer is, I was stuck. I was stuck in a rut. And what once worked wasn't working anymore. Pay attention to that. What once worked wasn't working anymore. Now, let me point out a big lesson that I learned here. My lack of results wasn't because of a lack of showing up. I was showing up to the gym 5-6 days a week. The habit of working out was established. But it was only when I changed what I did that results finally followed. Now, since 22-minute hard, I have done who knows how many different programs, and I love them. And many of them I've done back to back because I love the results that I'm getting. But every time, without fail, at some point, I noticed that I plateau. Now, that's a sign to me that it's time to switch things up and do a new program. And I have yet to do Max 30 because that program scares the living daylights out of me. It's the one program I won't do just yet. Anyways, okay. And when I start a new program, that first bit really, really sucks. And because it's such a big change for me, but it gets me the results that I'm looking for. Now, hopefully you can relate to this story a little bit. This principle that I just explained isn't just true for workouts. It's also true for your business. Now, for those of you watching who have not really tried working the business just yet, pay attention. This is just as much for you as for those of you who are working the business. Now, for you newbies, I want you to pay attention, because at some point when you decide that it's time to really step outside your comfort zone and do this, you're gonna experience this. But hopefully after today, you'll have an edge above everyone else because you'll know what to expect. But for everyone else who is currently working your business, see if this scenario sounds familiar to you. At some point, we all have our sign up date and our start date. And at some point you decide, you know what? Okay, this is my start date. This is the time that I'm going to start coaching. And I'm going to start working start working the business. But because it was new to you, it strained you, it pushed you outside your comfort zone, but you got results from it because friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, whoever said yes. And it was exciting. You said, okay, I'm going to move forward with this. That's when you were probably introduced to the Success Club activity tracker, because that gives you step-by-step of kind of what you need to do. It probably took a while for you to get used to this, but over time you figured out, okay, I kind of I'm in a groove. I kind of know what to do. I kind of know what activities to do. And you've been doing those activities ever since. Day after day, you show up, you do those activities, you connect the same way, you invite the same way, you onboard the same way, and your activities have brought you to where you are today. And then you plateaued. Have you plateaued? Do you feel that plateau feeling of I'm showing up, but I'm not getting the results anymore that I once saw? You may be even saying to yourself when this happens, and I hear it so many times from my diamonds, I just need to work harder. I just need to hustle more. I don't think that's it. Doing the exact same thing every day and expecting different business results is just as crazy as me going to the gym, lifting the same weights, and expecting better and better results. It's just that crazy. Listen to me. If you want something to change, it's time to change your approach to the business. It's time to get uncomfortable again. It's time to suck air. that image, I was just on the ground. I'm like, this really sucks. But it's time to suck air for your business. But I want you to understand the lesson right now. I'm going to repeat this twice. There's a difference between showing up every day and doing the right activities every day. Let me say that again. There's a difference between showing up every day and doing the right activities every day. If you are on the struggle bus, as far as showing up every day, start there. How in the world can you expect to get results if you're not showing up and if you're not putting in any type of work? Now, the best way to know if you're showing up and being honest with yourself is you pull out the activity tracker and see if there's room for improvement. Are there boxes that are blank? Are there days that are blank? That's kind of a sign. If so, I want you to start there. Put together a schedule. I cannot tell you the importance of a schedule, of writing down. I'm a pen and paper kind of a guy. Writing down a schedule and sticking to it as best you can. And if you can't, then tweak it to the point where even if it's a pocket schedule, meaning these are the pockets of time that I have, and you know exactly what to do in those pockets, put together a schedule. Okay. Now, if you are showing up every single day, but you're not seeing the results you're looking for, it may be time to change the activities. Now, don't get me wrong. It's going to be very difficult to change what you do. You've been doing this for a very long time. And I even dare say you may even be hitting Success Club each month, and it's time to change a few things because you're just not growing. But I can promise you this. Just like it did when I changed my workout routine, you will start finding the business results you are looking for. So for you note takers out there, and I know people out there, hopefully, kids join on your pad paper right now. Take the pen away from the kid. It's time to write down 3 things that I'm going to help you with. Here are my 3 tips for getting unstuck in your business. Tip number 1, keep doing the things that are working. Look, keep doing the things that are working. I don't want you to do a complete 180 and drop everything. There are probably things that are working. Now, you'll know what's working because, and this is a great activity I want you to do. You'll know what's working because you can look back 3 to 6 months. And you can see by doing that activity, there's an upward trend. Now, if you look back 3 to 6 months and all you see is a straight line, a flat line, those activities aren't working. Here's what I want you to do if that's the case. today, carve out 1 hour. Now, this can be used as your personal development time, and you can cross that box off. Sit down at the desk, sit down at the dinner table, and I want you to write out everything you do. List everything you do that to help grow your business. Small or big, write everything down. Then I want you to go back and rate those activities from 1 to 5. 5 meaning, yeah, I can look back and that single activity is pointing me in the right direction. A 1 means I'm busy, but it's not producing any productive results. Then I want you to highlight all the 1s, all the 2s, and possibly a 3 or so. And then I want you to bless those items and release them. Bless and release is one of the best things you can do in your business. They may have served you well in the past, and probably they did serve you well in the past. Bless them for that, and then give them the boot. It's time to move on. Tip number 2. This one's a big tip. This one's a hard one. It was a hard one for me. Become an expert in your weakest areas. Become an expert in your weakest area. Let me give you a personal example of this because it is easier said than done. I'm an introvert. Ever since the 6th grade, I've wanted to hide in the back of the classroom and not be called out. You know, when the teacher says, anybody know the answer to this? And then I don't want to be called out. And then as soon as she says, Joey, I'm like, oh, she didn't call on me. And that was totally planned. Okay. I didn't want to be called out. In previous jobs, I was able to hide behind my computer. And when the team wanted to go out to lunch or something for a birthday, I told them I was too busy and I stayed behind on my desk. But then I started noticing that my career was plateauing. I only made it as far as I could go by doing the things that I was doing. Then my former boss, who was now working at Beachbody, reached out to me and offered me a position here at Beachbody. Here's what he said. He said, Kevin, the position requires you to meet with strangers, both on Zoom and in person, meaning you need to fly out and meet with them in person, probably at a hotel lobby. You need to go to events and parties and be social. And sometimes you'll be called out to be a featured Super Weekend. This thing called Super Weekend will be a featured speaker. And the night before, you probably need to take about 8 to 10 of them out to dinner. For you introverts, you know exactly what I'm feeling right now. Cue the sweaty pits. This was challenging my weakest area. But I knew if I wanted to grow, I had to lean into those sweaty pits. Now, here at the office, for those that know me well, here at the office, and it's pretty much those at the office, they know that I still struggle with this. I still struggle, especially with parties and galas. Anyways, I've had multiple times I've had to excuse myself from them because the anxiety is too much. But you lean in. And believe me, I got the sweaty pits each time I go to those things. And I'm no expert. But looking back at where I was before Beachbody to where I am now, guys, I'm like light years ahead in my career, and I love what I do. And I'm working. I'm not completely comfortable, but I'm getting there. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at what you avoid, but know you should do. Now, you'll know it's the right thing because when you think about that one thing or two things or whatever, you get that butterfly feeling in your stomach. And that's where I came up with the hashtag Chase Your Butterflies. Which is a whole nother national wake-up call. Hopefully they got me slotted for sometime in the future, but I love that topic of chasing your butterflies, how to get uncomfortable, how to stay uncomfortable, and how to lean into those sweaty pits. It is such an awesome growth. It really takes you to the next level when you do those things. Okay, but I want you to lean into this. I want you to become an expert, study about this thing. I want you to go out and try it. Practice it wherever you go. And as Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus would say, take chances, make mistakes, and get messy. What an awesome tip from Miss Frizzle. Okay, my last tip number 3. And this is one that I'll be focusing on for those of you going to NLC. be prepared. This is a lot of fun. But my last tip right now, tip number 3 is don't be casual. Each week in the Diamond group, I have this thing called the Words of Wisdom. It's when the Diamonds who become 1-stars, they leave my group, I ask them to share what their words of wisdom would be to those who are trying to do what they just did, which is pretty much get to 1-star. I leave it open-ended. They can respond however they want. And my hope is that after reading enough of these, the Diamonds in the group will see a consistent pattern of what it takes to get out of this group. And let me tell you, it's awesome. It's working. I love the answers these 1-stars give. The number 1 answer that they give is consistency. The number 2 answer, and the thing I want to focus on right here, is that almost all of them at some point decided enough is enough. And they were going to stop being casual in their approach to this business. In fact, they can almost tell you the exact day they made the mental shift from being casual and hoping for big things to happen to drawing the line in the sand and saying, fine, I'm going to change. I'm going to go all in and I'm going to make this happen. I don't want you to be casual in how you connect with people. I don't want you to be casual in your relationships with others. I don't want you to be casual in how you invite, in how you do follow-ups. And I don't want you to be casual in your personal development. Don't go for the fun, lighthearted stuff or whatever else is reading. Go for the things that you're the weakest in. Don't be casual in your business tracker. We put that together because that thing works if you use it. And for crying out loud, don't be a casual leader. Look, I'm telling you right now, no matter what you've heard in the past, no matter what you're experiencing right now or what you're thinking right now, success is out there. Yeah, it's gonna suck. It takes hard work and it's gonna take time. It's gonna push you outside your comfort zone. But when someone comes to you and says with tears in their eyes, I was broken. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like how I felt. I didn't like how I looked. But because of you, because you decided to reach out to me, I'm a better person. I love who I am. I love the group I'm in. That feeling right there is worth more than anything you can imagine. That's the best payout you can get. There's a quote here at the office. We often say here, you're doing exactly what you need to be doing to be where you're at. Let me say that again. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing to be where you are at. Look, if you want something to change, change. Stop. Don't complain. Complain gets you absolutely nowhere. Change it. If you want something to change, change it. 2022 starts Saturday. This Saturday. I smile because it's so exciting. I love this 5th quarter. This week is such an exciting week because it's when things finally change. You say enough is enough. And this Saturday, the reset button is pushed. I can't think of a better time to finally get unstuck and push all the excuses aside. Now, it's not up to us. It's not up to Beachbody to get you unstuck. We'll do our part. We will continue giving you the best content, the best effort that we can give. But it's not up to us to get you unstuck. And it's not up to your upline either. As much as many of you think, man, my upline just absolutely is the worst. Well, get over it. It's not up to them for you to get unstuck. It is 100% up to you. Own it. Own it right now. Here's what I want you to do. And this is the thing I'm wrapping up with. Circle today. I want you to find it. Calendars still exist, right? We don't use phones. We still use calendars. Find a calendar, circle it with a red pen, a red marker, and label it. This is the day I decided to get unstuck. This is the day that I'm going to lean into that butterfly feeling. This is the day I'm going to lean into the sweaty pits. This is the day that I'm going to draw the line and say enough is enough. I am so excited for 2022. And if you are an upcoming diamond or a diamond coach, we got some big things ahead of us. For everyone else, I know we have worked tirelessly to help you succeed. We have the energy. We have the momentum. Guys, so much is on the line. I love you. I love the National Wake Up Call. I love being on here. You guys are the best. Let's make 2022 your year. Guys, I guess I'm sending this thing out. Have an awesome, awesome rest of this year. Have a safe year. Have an awesome 5th quarter. We will see you again in 2022. Bye, guys.